Hey guys, welcome to this week's box office report. And you know what? We're now in the month of October.
Yes.
So when it comes to October, we got the horror times. It's all horror time, baby.
It is horror time. So I feel like every week the top 10 movies that are in the box office is going to change every week. It's going to rotate because there's going to be a new blockbuster. This is almost like summer. There's going to be a new blockbuster that's going to come out, or at least a very, very popular one. And during this month, everybody wants to see these movies. So whatever the newest one is, everybody's going to kind of rush to go see that one. And that one's always going to take number 10. Take number 1. So if you're trying to make a bunch of money,
now's the time to make some horror films.
I mean, because next week you're not gonna be number 1.
But
Paw Patrol is gonna stay number 1.
Paw Patrol opens up. Not a horror film, but the family, came out. They hadn't had a family film in a while, so they did come out. Paw Patrol, Mighty Movie, number 1, 23 million. 46 worldwide, not too bad.
I mean, it's great, and unfortunately, it's gonna hang there for a while.
You think so? I don't think so.
It's not gonna be. It's probably not gonna be at number 1 for the whole time because
it'll be in the top 5 for a while.
Exorcist is coming out next week, so that's probably gonna take number 1. But it ain't leaving the top 10 for quite some time. It's gonna hang out. It's gonna hang around like Barbie did.
So the first Paw Patrol actually had a opening of 13 million. So this one was 10 more, and.
Those Chinese animators now.
It looks like it looks like it was a much needed boost when it comes to family entertainment. So a lot of people came out for that movie.
I mean, it was actually a good time for it to do it. They waited till Barbie kind of ran its course, and there's not many things out there for family right now.
Exactly.
Everything's gonna be for more of an older audience right now. So if you need to take your kids to something, this is probably it.
So now it's
you could take them to go see Blue Beetle because that movie failed.
And your first after The Nun 2 has done really well. We'll get to that in a minute. Saw X premiered, the 10th installment in the Saw franchise. 18 million, good for number 2.
Who is still seeing Saw? Look, by the way, we just had Spiral, which is supposed to spin off into something else, but did you guys not want to support that one? It's like they were like, no, we gotta go back to Saw. We have to go right back to Saw. Even though we tried to do something different, we had to go right back to Saw. Why?
The same reason you went from Season of the Witch to Return of Michael Myers.
Money. All right, I get it. You guys don't want anything new. I want new things.
All right. Well, first of all, let's hold on. Let's pump the brakes here real quick.
All right.
Saw X is actually one of the better sequels in the entire franchise.
Look, I saw in the trailer he is still alive.
No, hold on one second. Now, what makes it so good is they brought back John Kramer. Yes. It is.
How many times is he gonna kill? You know what? He should be a horror icon. How many times
he's definitely a horror icon.
How many times is he gonna die and come back to life? He died, came back to life, died, came back to life, had somebody take over, died again, and came back to life again.
It takes place after. I want to say it takes place between Saw 1 and Saw 2, so it is.
Which he was dead. He was dead.
He was not dead yet. He was not dead yet. No, he was not. The shocking twist.
Oh wait, he didn't die until 4 or something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, but so they bring him back. This is a prequel / sequel. Yes, you're right. They tried to spin it off with Spiral. You had mixed reviews on that movie, and they had to go to what worked. So
what I really wonder, since Chris Rock bought the IP for this, is he getting paid for Saw 10?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Yeah. But good for 18 million. Good for number 2. I hear a lot of good things about it. I hear the traps are really, really intense in this movie.
Which means gross. Which I tapped out and Saw 3.
And a really fantastic post-credit scene. So I'm looking forward to it. Saw X.
Spoiler alert.
Number 2.
He's still alive.
At number 3, we have The Creator with John David Washington. Interesting concept if you like movies like Elysium, District 9, stuff like that.
Or AI, which this movie basically I feel like is ripping off.
Pretty much. Or have you seen the AIs on this, the robots on this?
I saw part of it. The CGI looks great, and that was one of the things that kind of really sold me on it. And then seeing John Washington, right?
John David Washington.
John Washington. That's what I call him.
I'm calling Clay.
But anyway, it's like I was after Tenet, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it was good to see him in another leading role. So I was really excited about that one. And then it really does. I feel like Steven Spielberg should be asking for some money because it really did give me AI vibes in this one.
Very much so. And the robots, it's like Lando Calrissian's bald head friend from Empire. That's who those AI dudes remind me of.
True.
And the kid was like very Golden Child.
Very true.
It was the Golden Child.
Except Indian.
There you go. But The Creator was opened up at 14 million, 32 million worldwide. I'm pretty sure that it's not going to make a lot of its budget back. Unfortunately,
I feel like they spent a lot of money on this
yes.
film.
But yeah,
I feel like they didn't count on Paw Patrol.
exactly.
Paw Patrol came in there and took all the money.
Or Saw X. At
Right.
number 4 is The Nun 2. Okay, so a lot of mixed reviews on this one as well.
I did see it. It took too long to get to they did so much setting up at the beginning of this movie, and I'm like, dude, we already know who the nun is, but we know who the live nun is, and we know who the demon nun is. Get to the point. I felt like this movie could have been cut, like at least a good 25% of this movie could have been cut off. I don't need to know what she's doing in the meantime. I just need to know she's a nun. All right, cool. Let's go take care of the nun that woke back up again.
If I remember correctly, 9 minutes of screen time total for The Nun.
That's about right.
For Valak.
That's literally about right. It took so long to get to it, and then I feel like because we all sat, me and the kids went to go see this, and we were like, they messed up their own story.
Why is that?
Okay, because you remember at the end of the first one where they're Frenchie turns out to be the guy that they did The Exorcist on, the original Conjuring, blah blah.
Right.
He died.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I told you this is kind of like a prequel, isn't it? I think it's a
The first nun was the prequel to Frenchie. So what they're doing is like now he is look, spoiler alert.
8.5 million, 231 million worldwide.
I mean, the property itself.
That's what I'm gonna say. I think the Conjuring universe in itself,
because this is
what made this movie.
Ghost House, this is Ghost House, right? Oh no, this is Blumhouse. This is Blumhouse. Yeah, this is Blumhouse. I
think it is.
I mean, Blumhouse, Ghost House, A24. It's Blumhouse. They're good. There's gonna be a Nun 3.
Rounding out the top 5 is The Blind, which is actually kind of like a Duck Dynasty faith-based type movie.
So that was the crazy part about it. It was like I did not know that until
4.1 million.
I was like, "What is The Blind?" And I went to go look up the trailer, and I was like, people have been asking to hear about the backstory and then like how him and his wife met and their trials and tribulations. Dude, I watched Duck Dynasty on, was it Discovery or A&E or something? I think it's A&E. I watched it on A&E. I know their story. I don't need to see a movie about it.
Well, it was good for number 5. Now, this was actually a Fathom event, so it didn't. It was in less screens.
Yeah.
But it still managed to crack the top 5 at 4.
They're probably gonna push it out to a wider audience going forward because it did so well.
Yeah, it's a possibility, and that was rounding out the top 5. At number 6 was The Haunting in Venice. That's your Agatha Christie final in the trilogy after Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. All right.
I didn't see any of those.
All right. Up next.
All right.
And you were talking about it earlier. Exorcist Believer.
Yeah, I was really, really sold on this after watching the trailer, the very, very first trailer that they released. I was very, very sold on it. That second trailer though almost kind of got me to back out of this movie because they showed like a clip of the church scene, and I was like, and it's not so scary as seeing it just kind of unfold. And it's kind of like weird kid.
Are we going? Are we talking that trailer screwed up the movie again?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't give away. I mean, this was specific where they were like really. The majority of the trailer was to give you a clip of the movie.
Okay.
To really kind of get you interested, and that wasn't the clip that they used wasn't a good one to sell the movie.
Oh.
It was kind of. It just made.
I haven't seen that one yet. I
It just
saw the
kind of made it
original.
seem like any other possession movie, and it didn't seem special anymore. So I was like, with the very first trailer, with it being 2 girls being possessed, and everybody trying to figure out, and there are different levels of possession, and them both kind of syncing up in the whole thing. That was very, very scary and very, very different from the Exorcist series itself. But this just kind of, it came off as regular old possession movie, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't see this one first.
Well, this is from David Gordon Green, who's fresh off of the Halloween trilogy that he just finished. And I think that the guy definitely does know horror, and he does know, like when you saw 2018 Halloween.
Sam Raimi back on this.
when you had 2018's Halloween, he did a really good job bringing Michael Myers back, capturing a lot of the nostalgia. I have a feeling that he's going to do the same thing with The Exorcist. I agree with you 100%. I would have rather had Linda Blair come back as opposed to Ellen Bernstein. But you know what? Maybe
like Linda Blair made more difference to me. She's like, I can relate. I was possessed,
and that is why I think this is going to end in a cliffhanger or something, and then it'll be.
They're very presumptuous to think that they're going to get a sequel out of this.
They will. And Linda Blair.
Ask Blue Beetle if they get a sequel. Ask the Flash if they're getting a sequel. They had post-credit scenes too. You know what? That don't mean they getting a sequel.
This, I'm telling you, is gonna get a sequel. David Gordon Green's really talented until Halloween ends.
Was this done by A24, Ghost House, or Blumhouse?
It's Blumhouse.
Oh, yeah, they just gotta make $15 and everything.
Darren Siegel.
All right. I mean, I feel like I
Good
rambled.
callback, sir. Good
I feel like I rambled a bit on this. So if
You think?
if this is long, I apologize. Maybe I'll cut some of my rambling out. But if this is the first time you're on the channel, make sure to subscribe as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other videos that we do where I don't ramble on the channel.
So the segment on the nun will be cut from
Yeah,
Anderson.
exactly. It'll be like, the nun was not good.
For Aspen, Carla, and Art, wherever the hell they're at, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
We'll see you next time.
Real quick, if you're still here, because we do these into the video little blooper things. If you're still here, look down. There's a link here for Patreon. If you guys like the show, please give us money. Give us money. We'll take a penny. We'll take a nickel. We'll take a dime. We'll take $1. We have some stuff on there that we're giving away on Patreon if you do contribute, because trust me, we need help. We need help. We want to buy new equipment, and we need an editor. Somebody who doesn't have to stay up in the middle of the night. Or they'll have to stay up in the middle, but I won't have to do it. So please, down patreon.com/thegoods. It's in the link. Please do it. We appreciate it. Top flight.